This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Budgeting for Life's Big Moments. In this episode, titled Identifying Major Life Events and Costs, we'll explore the key milestones that often catch us off guard financially. By the end, you'll have a clearer picture of what to prepare for. So let's dive in. Some of the most expensive days of your life are already on the calendar. You just haven't written the dates in yet. One morning, you're signing a student loan form. Years later, you're holding a hospital bill or a college invoice. Same life story, wildly different price tags. Those big-ticket days don't just drain your bank account. They quietly shape your entire money story. A wedding doesn't only cost what you sign on the venue contract, it may delay your house savings. That first baby isn't just diapers and daycare. It may change how much risk you can take with your investments. A career switch isn't just a new job title. It might mean a temporary income dip right before a major expense hits. Most of us plan for each event in isolation, like cooking one dish at a time without checking if all the burners fit on the stove. In this series, we'll zoom out, list the major life events most people face, put rough price tags on them, and look at how they pile up or collide over time. The goal isn't to predict your future perfectly, but to make sure that when those days arrive, they feel planned, not like financial ambushes. Think of this episode as opening your life money map for the first time. Instead of obsessing over today's bills, we'll sketch the big milestones most people hit: education choices, where and how you live, who you support, and how long your income realistically has to carry you. We'll layer in rough price ranges, typical timing, and how these events can bunch up, like 3 subscriptions all renewing in the same month. The point isn't to lock yourself into a rigid script, but to see patterns early enough that you can shift, resize, or reorder goals before they collide. Let's start by naming the usual suspects, because the future is vague, but tuition, rings, and medical bills are not. Across a typical adult life, most people collide with some version of these milestones: education choices after high school, forming a household with a partner, housing moves and upgrades, kids or choosing not to have them, career pivots by choice or necessity, health surprises, supporting aging parents or relatives, stepping back from full-time work, wrapping up your own affairs. The research isn't just listing events, it's tracking how they cluster. A common pattern, late 20s to early 40s becomes a cost pile-up. You might be finishing payments from your own degree while planning further education, sharing rent or a mortgage, saying yes to a major ceremony, thinking about kids, and testing a new career direction within a 10 to 15-year window. Now layer in rough price tags from the data you saw earlier: 6-figure totals for kids and retirement healthcare, 5 figures for ceremonies and degrees, 5 or 6 figures for home moves and down payments. None of these numbers alone is shocking. Together, on a compressed timeline, they explain why even high earners feel constantly behind. Here's where anticipation matters. People who sketch these events out, even as fuzzy maybes, tend to spread costs over more years instead of funding everything out of last-minute cash flow. Use more tax-advantaged accounts because they can match account rules to event timing. Carry insurance that's actually sized to their risks instead of generic coverage. And they revisit the map. A plan that assumed 2 kids, 1 city, and a stable employer will look silly if life steers you toward no kids, 2 cities, and freelancing. Updating the map doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you're treating your finances like a living system instead of a one-time setup. Your job in this episode isn't to decide your whole life. It's to see how many of the expensive chapters are broadly knowable in advance, and how powerful it is to drag them out of the fog and onto a timeline, even in pencil. The easiest way to see this life money map in action is to zoom in on a few different paths. Take Maya, 24, who knows she might want grad school, a dog, and a move to a higher-cost city. She sketches those as probable, maybe, and long shot, then tags each with a rough date range and cost band, low, medium, high. Her map looks messy, but suddenly she sees that if grad school and the move overlap, she'll want a bigger cash buffer and less fixed rent. Or consider Alex and Jordan, who list kids as a fork, not a box to tick. One branch includes childcare and a larger home. The other includes more travel and earlier semi-retirement. Neither branch is right. Each just needs different cash flow and savings choices today. Planning like this is closer to coding than prophecy. You write if-then rules for your money. If I move cities by 30, then I'll keep my furniture cheap and my savings rate high. If I stay put, then I might prioritize paying off debt faster. Tech and policy shifts will quietly reshape your life money map. AI tools may soon project your cash flow decades ahead, testing paths like move countries at 40 or shift to part-time at 55, the way map apps test routes. Rule changes around retirement and portable benefits could turn today's rigid accounts into mix-and-match tools, more like app plugins than locked boxes. The experiment becomes, which combinations best fit your evolving script, not a standard template. The goal isn't to script every scene. It's to know which acts might be coming so you can set aside props in advance. As you map events, notice where goals compete for the same dollars, like tabs open on one browser with limited RAM. Clarifying what matters most in the next 3 to 5 years lets you fund trade-offs on purpose, not by accident. To go deeper, here are 3 next steps. 1. Open a free life events planning template in Notion or Google Sheets and plug in your next 5 big milestones. For example, wedding, grad school, first home, kids, career break. Then add rough cost ranges using data from NerdWallet's cost of living and housing calculators. 2. Grab a copy of The Price You Pay for College by Ron Lieber or I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, and read just the chapter on long-term goal planning tonight, highlighting any specific dollar figures or timelines that match your own events. 3. Use Fidelity's Goal Booster or Vanguard's Goal Planner tool to create one concrete savings goal, for example, new baby in 3 years at $8,000 to $10,000 upfront costs, and connect it to a separate high-yield savings account, like Ally or Marcus, you name after that event so money is visibly earmarked for it. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow.